Classic Doom and Doom 2 are pretty well known for their ability to run on literally anything with a screen and a couple of buttons. We've seen Classic Doom run on calculators, pregnancy tests, potatoes, ATM machines, old phones, and the list goes on and on and on and on. Not only is it well known from a more serious standpoint, but it's also been memed to death for years, so it's pretty well known by this point. Most of you should also know that Classic Doom came with a variety of impressive official ports as well. While it's really cool to see Doom running on an almost unreadable pregnancy test screen, it's also pretty interesting to see some of the official ports Doom got back in the 90s. Stuff like the PS1 port or the Jaguar port are always cool to see, especially when it comes to the unique sprites and tracks they had. I'd say that it's honestly just neat to see Doom running on literally anything that isn't a giant 90s PC. I mean, it obviously is cool to see Doom running on a giant 90s PC, but what about Doom running on something that's pretty much the exact opposite of that? How about Doom running on something that's small, extremely portable, and has no technology or even a screen to run Doom on? Well, today I present to you just that. One of Doom's weirdest yet most intriguing unofficial ports yet, the Milky Way port. Not the Milky Way galaxy, at least not yet. I'm talking about a literal Milky Way candy bar with a micro screen. If you thought that finding sharp objects in your candy was bad enough, you are definitely gonna hate this. The extremely odd yet incredibly delicious port of Doom was made by Adafruit Industries and seems to be running on an incredibly small device that they created earlier in the year. I don't have nearly enough experience or knowledge to explain it, so I'll leave a link to the original video in the description, as well as the video showing Doom running on the Milky Way candy bar. It may have seemed like we were getting a treat this Halloween, but it seemingly turns out that all we got was a trick, as there are no visible buttons on this candy bar and no gameplay is really shown in the extremely short showcase video. So while this is Doom running on a Milky Way candy bar, it's not really Doom being played on a Milky Way candy bar. I'm gonna have to assume that was simply done to make the candy bar look as realistic as possible for the sake of a meme, which I totally respect. But hey, if this thing was a more comfortable shape and came with buttons, I would 100% buy a small pocket device built exclusively for playing Classic Doom. That sounds like a pretty sick novelty to own. If they ever decide to release one of those either officially or unofficially, I'll be sure to dive into it in a separate video. I'm sure that would be more than fun. But until that day, be sure to leave a like on today's video if you enjoyed the content and subscribe to the channel for more. I am constantly talking about Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein, so if that's your kind of stuff, then I would recommend sticking around. And it would also really help me out. I'd really appreciate the support. I figured that today's video should be a little shorter and more focused on something that fits the season, considering how Halloween is only a few days away. I hope you enjoyed getting that sweet look at Classic Doom being showcased on a Milky Way bar. I know it was fun to talk about. Anyways though, I think that's all I have for today's video, so as always, thank you all for watching. Until next time.